Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So I am here on investopedia.com. Love this website. I know many of you know of it, but if you don't, it's a great website to learn about a lot of beginner investing type of content. It really goes into detail. And I really do enjoy reading articles and things on this website from time to time. But this was a great article that I came across and I wanted to make a video about it. So all of us millennials out there, technically, millennials are people who were born, you see right here, between 1981 and 1996. I am more of an older millennial. I was born in 1984, so I am an 80s baby. But I am, a lot of my childhood was in the 90s. And to me, in the 90s, it was a great time to grow up. It was like the pre-internet phase. You remember AOL and the dial-up. We would be outside. I had my first job in the 90s. I worked at Burger King and I made $5.25 an hour. And my husband worked at McDonald's and he made $5.15 an hour. And I've always been partial to Burger King anyway over McDonald's in terms of food and all that. But the 90s was a great time to grow up as a kid. And, us millennials now, we're older. We are older. And like I said, we were born between 1981 and 1996. We have kids, teenagers probably. My daughter will be graduating high school. So by the time you see this, she has already graduated high school. So shout out to my baby. But yeah, we are now starting to really think about retirement. And what will retirement look like for us? And this article was great because it's asking a really simple question. How much do millennials need to save for retirement? And I'll just tell you that it really does depend. It really does depend. If you look at the key takeaways here, it talks about millennials should save at least 15%. Now, you will not see me put a number on retirement like you need $1 million, you need 500,000, you need 100,000, because that all depends on you. It depends on the person. Your situation, your circumstances are different than mine or someone else's. And you don't want to try to mimic someone else's retirement plan and strategy and you not create one for yourself. It's like really giving yourself you're like taking two steps back. It's really doing a dishonest, it's like doing a discredit. It's a discredit to yourself. Mixing up my words here. But it's a discredit to yourself because you cannot keep up with someone else's strategy. It's impossible. And we don't really know the full background of anyone's financial picture, including those who you see online. But I love that this article stressed just some simple takeaways. At least try to save 15% of your income. If you can save 15% of your pre-tax income, no matter if you make 50,000 a year, 100,000 a year, $500,000 a year, if you can at least aim for that, you kind of like on the path. I would even say if you can do at least 10%, because let's be honest, times are a little tough, things are getting expensive, layoffs are happening, and you should definitely have an emergency fund. So investing for retirement is great, but that's the future. You need to make sure you're taking care of yourself now. So 15%. And then also, if you can have at least 1 times your salary saved by 30, that will actually help. So let's say you make $50,000 a year and you're 28. By the time you're 30, if you can have that same $50,000 invested and or saved in assets, you're kind of on the right track as well. And I know a lot of people like using that metric of having 1 times their salary as a better, gauge than like, do I have my first 100,000 invested or something like that? The employer sponsored plan, the 401ks are a huge, huge help because if you get a match, oh my goodness, talk about free money now. There are vesting schedules and all of that. But the fact is that it's a match. Take advantage of the matches because that will help you faster. Okay. Also, asset allocation. Are you only in stocks? Are you in bonds? Do you have real estate? Do you have a paid off car? These are all things that can help move you in the right direction. And then last but not least, Social Security. I talk about it often. It's not something that I am relying on as a millennial because I'm 40 years old. Let's say 65. That's 25 years from now. Okay, maybe I'll wait till 60. That's 20 years from now. That's a long time still. If I had a baby this year or next year, I would literally be able to get a kid through school and high school and still have to wait to retire. So I really like taking retirement into our own hands, because we don't want to have to wait till 60, 65, 70 years old to retire. And that's if they don't move the age up. This article also talking about looking at your own retirement needs, right? What is your cost of living going to look like? What about inflation? Are you thinking about inflation and the impact of your dollars? So yeah, some people may say, well, you don't need $1 million, but if you still have 20, 30 years left to retire before you hit that age, you may need that much just because of inflation and the cost of living. Like if you're retired now, I definitely would not compare that to retiring 20 years from now. Things will look totally different in terms of cost. Medicare, um, property taxes if you own your home, even in full. If you have kids, I have a special needs son, so it all goes into our numbers as well. If you look right here, it says some millennials plan to work into their 70s, whereas some right here hope to clock out at 50. It just depends on what your plan is. And also, if you plan on being retired for about 30 years, you need to make sure you have that money set aside. How much do you plan on withdrawing? I know about the 4% rule and the FIRE movement. Maybe you want to take out 3% from your investments. All of that is good to help you with your retirement. And these articles right here go with this because I think it really makes you think about, if you buy a home, well, that goes into your retirement planning. What about a family? I have kids. Let me tell you, they cost money. We love them. They're cute. They're adorable, but they cost money. You're getting married. A lot of people get divorced over financial reasons. You want to make sure you're thinking about things like that. And then unexpected life events. If you have a kid, but the kid has a special need, a disability, that all goes into that, okay? But I love to hear how this is from Fidelity. So these are just some general guidelines. By 30, if you can have 1 times your salary saved, you're kind of on track. By 40, if you can have 3 times your salary saved and or invested, you're kind of on track. And you see the same 50 years old, 6 times, because you make the bulk. Most people make the most of their income in their lifetime in their 50s. You're kind of like at your cap, at your limit. So you can really do a lot. And the IRS gives you extra contributions with an HSA, a Roth IRA, things like that to catch up. And then by 60 and then by 67 because of compound interest. So the earlier you start, the better. But even if you don't start at 30 or 40, just having something is much better than having nothing. This goes into detail about retirement employer sponsored accounts, which I did talk about. And I have several videos out there about that. If you are self-employed, you can put money in like a SEEP IRA. I think a simple IRA, it says it right here, solo 401k. There are stipulations to this, so you want to make sure you read about it. Again, I'll have this article linked below, and there's links embedded in the article where you can go ahead and read more about it. Now, strategies. If you're a millennial or anyone, you need to understand your tolerance, your goals, and your timeline. Now, I created a retirement plan worksheet. This is in the investment planner. If you all have it, I know hundreds of you have it. I did create this, but this is a retirement plan tracker, something simple, something easy, nothing complicated at all. But when I first started thinking about retirement as a millennial, I didn't know where to even start. And yeah, I went to a financial advisor, but it was overwhelming. And remember, financial advisors are not free, okay? And so I just needed something simple that I could create to just make me think. And I created this to make me think. And it's been such a help, not just to me, but to the many of you who have it. Your current age, all right? I'm 40. Retirement age, how many years you have left so you know what your timeline is. What about your retirement type? Are you lean? Are you want a more like luxurious retirement? Do you want just a traditional retirement? Like what type of retirement you want? Your family dynamic. People don't think about this. What will your family look like? Now you may be single and that's great. But I have a special needs son. I'm going to always have to care for him. So our dynamic may look different from others. Retirement goals. What is our desired monthly income? Desired yearly income. What is our retirement number? You traditionally take what you want to have as your yearly income and times it by 25 to get your total one. Current state, assets, liabilities. You need to know your net worth. That's something, it's a number everyone needs to know. It's okay if it's negative. We started out negative. I have videos about that on my channel. Take a look at it. But you just see all of this here just so that you can see, give you something to think about. give you a 5-year timeline so you can really have a strategy in place, your why, your motivation, things like that, your plan for withdrawal. I filled out one. I did one earlier this year, an update on the channel earlier this year. I need to redo another update, but again, this was earlier this year, and this is where we stood. Like 40 years old, would like to quit the day job at 42. That's 2 years left. Fat fire, family of 4, dynamic. I have a daughter who will be living on campus. I'm not going to go over all of this, but you see it right here. We want to have a yearly income of 90,000 in retirement years. That's a lot of money. But this being realistic, right? And it will help you to maybe adjust your expectations when you see, okay, this is a high retirement number. Maybe I can get this down a little bit. Current financial state. So we can see our total assets, liabilities, net worth, progress towards our numbers, 64%. We have whys and where we draw inspiration, and then like our 5-year timeline. Again, just jotting down information. Again, it's not supposed to be an end all be all. It's not supposed to be something perfect because things can change, life can happen, but just a gauge. It's a gauge to start so that you can see, okay, as a millennial, what's my strategy? How do I formulate one? This tracker helped me to do that. Okay. And I do have this up on my website as well. If you want to grab it or grab the investment book, it's all in there as well. But yeah, just having this information here, like it goes into allocations. Now we're 40. We do have more stocks. I think we're still like 90% stocks, 10% bonds, especially in the mutual funds and in index funds we have. And we may change it or reallocate it back in our 50s, but right now we still want to be in a lot of growth in our retirement based accounts. We do have taxable accounts like dividends and stuff. That's for early retirement here. But long-term retirement, we have a lot of growth still. We want to keep that. So I just wanted to come on and just, talk a little bit to all of my millennials out there and just anyone else. If you want to retire, looking at the debt that you have, cost of living, it's a lot, but it's important. It's a lot, but it's important. And channels like myself are here to so you can see someone in real time like me getting there consistently, small amounts, bigger amounts, being consistent, because let me tell you, if we don't do something about our future, no one will. And we don't want to just kind of stick our head in the sand and not really have a plan in place. Even if this all changes, at least we have something. Something is better than nothing. If you can retire with 200,000, I'm telling you, you can make 200,000 work if that's all you had. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, I'll have this article linked below. It's a really, really good one. Make sure you check it out. Let me know down below, what is your retirement strategy? Do you want to retire early? Are you going to be doing traditional retire? Are you even going to be able to retire? Again, like I said, something is better than nothing. Don't get stuck up on millions of dollars. You don't need it. Start where you are and just keep going. Again, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Smash notification bell so that you don't miss an upload every time I post a video. And until next time, I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.